Welcome to this episode of There's an App for That. Today we'll show you a few of the features on Nearpod. But before we begin, let me point out that on the left-hand side of your screen you're going to be seeing the teacher's device, whereas on the right-hand side of the screen you'll see the student's device. So the first thing that we want to do once we get to Nearpod on the teacher device is open our library and select a presentation. Once we've selected the presentation, we have a choice of if we want to conduct a live session or if you want to give the session to students as homework. The homework feature allows students to work at their own pace. The live session allows teachers to manage or control the pace of the presentation. Now the homework session is free for 30 days in the free version, and for the paid version it's free forever. We're going to conduct a live session. Once we open up the live session, we receive a pin that we share with our students. The students will join the session with that pin here. The students do not need to have an account in order to join Nearpod. Once students hit enter or submit, they will see on their screen exactly what the teacher sees on our screen. We move forward to the next page. Automatically, Nearpod asks students to submit their name and a student ID. Our students only need to submit their names and no student ID. Once all students have hit submit and you see your entire class down this list here, you can move on to the next slide. Now in this particular presentation, there's many content slides and many activity slides. We're going to kind of skip over the content slides because you don't necessarily need to know about the content. This first activity slide is called a poll, and a poll does just that. It polls or surveys your students. And students are able to select more than one of the answers. So if you only want them to choose one, make sure that you indicate that in the question or verbally. Over here, students can select and submit. And as soon as they do, we'll start seeing individual answers here. Oops. Now, if I wanted to share this data, and of course it's not that interesting with just 2 bits of data, I simply click Share on the teacher device, and the students will see what I've shared on their device. They can see how they answered by lifting the tab at the bottom down, which comes in handy if you use the same poll at the end of a session. We're going to move right along. On this particular presentation, there's a video embedded on one of the slides. I see it over here on the student device. You want to know that if you're going to be playing a video, you'll either have your students set up with headphones or ask them to turn their volume off and listen to just the volume from the teacher device. There's another content slide, another poll slide, another content slide. And here's a draw activity. Now in the draw activity over here, we see that the students are asked to draw a picture of something that might grow in the spring. In math class, we see that teachers are using the draw feature quite a bit for kind of on-the-fly types of math solutions. Once we hit submit over here, we'll see that that submission comes up on the teacher screen. Once all students submit, the teacher has the option of sharing any or all of the submissions. We'll go ahead and share Jerry's because this screen over here that you're looking at is Kim's. And when we share this, Kim sees it for just a second because I accidentally clicked on share, and we could swipe through and share all of the drawings or all of the solutions. Okay, let's move on. The last activity that I'd like to share with you is a quiz activity. Now, even though you're controlling the pace of the presentation, quizzes are student-paced. So the student goes ahead and selects Go and begins answering the questions, hitting Next. I'll kind of just answer these randomly. And as the student is completing the quiz, I'm just going to stretch this teacher view out a little bit more. The teacher can monitor where each student is. So Kim is on question number 3, whereas Jerry has not even begun yet. So it's kind of nice to know whether or not you need to go help students as they're working. Now, when I share the results with the students, they're going to see only their individual results. So I click share here, and with the poll they saw an aggregate collection of our responses. Here they say only their own. So Kim scored 3 out of 3, and that same tab exists on the quiz feature as existed on the poll feature, where I can pull it up and see which questions I got right or wrong. When you're finished with the Nearpod presentation, you may opt to take a look at some of the reports. One place that the reports can be found is in this pull-down menu here. There are both teacher reports and student reports. Another place that we can find those reports is on our main menu. If I click on the Home button over here, go back to the main menu, and the Reports tab is located at the bottom. I'm just going to stretch the teacher screen out a little bit. And all of the presentations that I've given, with the one that I've most recently given, at the top here. So I'll go ahead and select this presentation, and then I can see that this presentation has been given at 3 different times. This is the one that we just completed. And the reports page is here. If I wanted to download it immediately to take a look at it on a PDF file, which is nice for the drive features, I can just select here, go to PDF or a spreadsheet view. Now I can look at the summary this way, or I can take a look at individual types of activities. There was one poll in this where we asked what's the favorite season, and my results are here. I don't believe we answered any open-ended, but we did answer some quiz, and those quiz results are here. Well, that's just kind of a sneak peek at Nearpod. If you're ready to get started on this, or if you want to continue to grow your Nearpod presentations, please contact an iLearn specialist. Thanks.